Alrighto. Good morning, afternoon, happy Monday, everybody. Oh my gosh. That was still kind of hot. All right. This is just how the morning's been going so far for me, so we're going to do this. We are going to get through it today. All right. How is everybody doing? Good morning. Hello, Maya. Good morning. Good morning. So, I didn't do my live last week because I was at StarCon. It was good. It was a lot of fun. It was really great seeing everyone. The hotel was really nice. And, yeah, and I got to see West Palm Beach. I'd never been there before. Super bougie though. Like you need to be like wearing like a salmon color shirt with like the, like the sweater around it. Like that's the kind of bougie I'm talking about. Not like the fun kind. Like definitely. It was definitely. Well, thank you. And yeah, so I had a lot of fun. I talked about shadow work. We did some stuff with it and I had a lot of great, I feel like I'm crooked, a lot of great feedback. So that was really cool. I was happy about that. And they did a great event. There were bagpipes involved and everything. It was pretty neat, I have to say. So yeah, so just moving on to the next, I'm actually speaking at WitchCon and that is an online event. And that is Hex. Yeah, exactly, Maya. Exactly. For sure. So this guy, we had left just because I really wanted sushi. And so we found a place local. Actually, it was really good. And this guy pulls up in his Bentley, right? Beautiful. Like, that's my car that I want next. Is a Bentley. I have a thing for cars. It's a very weird fun fact about me. So, I had a Maserati. Now I have a 6 Series BMW. I have a thing for cars. Like that's my thing. So that's what I want next. We'll see what happens because there are a lot. But it was gorgeous and it was like kind of like the one I wanted. So I was like, and of course he gets out and it's just exactly that, Country Club. And I was like, oh, I really like your car or whatever. And he just kind of looked at me like, how dare you talk to me? I was like, I'm being nice, giving you a compliment, dude. Calm yourself. So it's very interesting. I'm so bad with that mindset. I'm so bad with it. And, because of my appearance too, like, it's a thing. But let me tell you, it was quite interesting. It was interesting, but it was a gorgeous car. And his nasty ass shouldn't have been driving it because he was miserable. But anyway, maybe in the future. All right, so what else? I am going to actually be interviewing. I'm in the process of scheduling interviews. And it's been a process. Like, people are not answering back. They're like, yeah. And they're like, let's do this, let's do that. And then they don't answer. And I'm like, okay. Not helpful. So today after this, I'm going to be after some people. But I am going to have Pamela Chen on next week. Next week. Oh my gosh. We're like into February. Next week. I think we're doing next Wednesday or Thursday. So I have to, she's my friend, so it's easy. I know. I'm like, listen, this is what we're doing. This is when we're doing it. Plus her Owl Tarot just came out. So, we want to do that. And it's just so funny too, because like I get stuff so ahead of time that like now people are just getting it, but I like got it like a month ago. So it's like, I have to like, oh yeah, that's right. It just did come out. But for me, it was out a while ago. So it's just one of those weird things. I'm looking down at my calendar is what I'm doing. So look out for that post. I'm going to be making graphic for that. And then on Valentine's Day, I am doing a live with Elliot, who did Tarot in Love, because I messaged him, and I absolutely adore him. And we, it says it should be tomorrow. What should be tomorrow, Maya? Oh, your deck. Oh, good. Yeah, it looks like the end of last week and this week is when everybody should be getting them. And it wasn't supposed to come out until March. And then all of a sudden it was out, like, and they had like no notice. It was like, whoa. So that's why I was like, Marcus is like, can you get her on? I was like, I'll get her on. Let's throw her in there. But yeah, I have done a couple of lives with Elliot, and I absolutely adore him, and we play really good off each other. So we're going to be talking about his book, Tarot and Love readings, giving some advice, maybe pulling some cards. Who knows what we'll do? We're just going to do some sort of Valentine's something or other. So that, keep an eye out for that. And what else? Yeah, I have a lot in process. So you definitely want to make sure you are following this page. And also I am doing everything on my Stardust Wanderer because it lets me use StreamYard. And it usually doesn't, you usually can't use a third-party app. And the reason that I was even switching it over to the podcast format is because, number one, a bigger reach, but also two, because of that. So I can use StreamYard on my Instagram, my Stardust Wanderer, and I don't know how, I don't know why, but they sent me this note and was like, you can use a third-party app on here. So I'm like, what? Because that's one thing I've been dreaming of, like, forever. So hopefully at some point, maybe I'll get it on here. But it's so much easier that way because then it's recorded, and then it's easier for a lot of people a lot of authors aren't the best with their socials. Some really are, but some are not. And some don't even have Instagram. So then it makes it like trying to explain how to get it on, and it drops a lot. And there's a couple, I can't even think off the top of my head, when I'm trying to do an Instagram live with them and it was just like cut off or an echo or something weird. So I was so excited to be able to do that. So I am also, that's under the name Stardust Witch Podcast, which I'll tag it, and then I will post on there as well, just all over the freaking place. If you're just following all the things, you'll be fine. And what else? What else? Yes, no, it does. It definitely worked out. Yeah, I don't know if it's like because it's a follower thing, or I really, like, I get monetized for my reels on my thing and all of that. So I don't know if it's because of that, but that was nice. That was very nice to get. I was so excited for that. It's just easier. It's just a way easier way to do it. Plus, what I'm going to do is that I can also stream it onto Facebook. I can stream it in a couple different places. So that's pretty cool too. So yeah, you know what? If it's going to make my life a little bit easier, then we're going to make it work somehow, right? So today, we're going to do Tarot Oracle, and I'm so excited. US Games sent me this deck. I was waiting for it, and it was sold out, and they finally got it back in, and they sent it my way, and I was so excited. So I know there's an indie version of this too, and this is the Fyodor Pavlov Tarot. I don't even know if that's how I'm saying it, and I have to do a walkthrough of it, so I'm gonna have to like make sure I'm saying it right. So what I do, which it messes me up and I shouldn't do that. I like rename things in my head. And so like this one I keep calling the Fray Diavolo Tarot. And there's another one, which is another favorite. And it's usually my favorite decks. And the, what is it? The Sasabuto Tarot. I don't know. I call it the Sassy Burrito. Hello. I call it the Sassy Burrito, and it's the Sarabuto, Sasibuito or something. I don't know. See, I can't even say it. But I renamed, and it's one of my favorite decks actually. And I renamed it the Sassy Burrito Tarot. And then I renamed this one the Fried Diavolo Tarot. And I can't help it. It's just one of those weird, quirky things that my brain does. So there's that for sure. But I have to show you too. Look at the gold edging. And this has kind of got a gold, you know. And I'm going to be doing a review of this probably after I'm done. Isn't it? And it's like, I can say it in my head the right way, but when I like try to say it, this is why I mess up people's names all the time. My brain just wants to give everybody new names. It's just how it goes. So that's what it's called. Yeah, I'm going to do a review of this, on my Stardust after. It'll be posted later today, but there is an indie version of this deck, and US Games acquired it. And now there's this one, which I don't know what it is about this deck, but I just love it. I don't know. It's very interesting. Very interesting. So, and honestly, speaking of card stock, oh my gosh, I went through that huge box of card samples, and it took me so long to go through them because each of them is like, this is a matte finish. This is 350 grams. This is 400 grams. This has got this, and that. But I narrowed it down. I have to show you. Look, I narrowed it down to 2 types of cards. And there's something I like on each of these and whatever. So progress is being made. Progress is being made. So I was really excited about that. That was one of those things I've been trying to get done, and I finally got done. So also today, we're going to use Oracle of the Witch, Reclaim Your Birthright. And this is by Flavia Kate Peters, Barbara Mecklejohn Free. So that is an interesting deck. And I think, yeah, this is a rock pool deck. I could usually tell they're rock pool decks by, they have the little insert. Sorry, my throat's really dry. So, and then rock pool is one of the ones, some authors that I've been trying to get a hold of, and I'm waiting. They're sending me a big box of, books and decks. So I'm really excited to get that. But I don't know if sometimes, yeah, they're really good to me, and they have a new marketing person, and it was really funny because she, it's out of Australia, and she messaged me, I was talking to her, and she's like, hey, I see where you're from. I'm actually from Rochester, which is like really a couple hours from me, but she's originally from there, so she knows exactly where I live and has been here before, but lives in Australia for like the last 10 years, so I thought that was kind of cool. I love when that stuff happens. So there's that. But yeah, she's going to be sending me a whole bunch and connecting to different deck creators. One of them is, oh my goodness, I can't names. She's the one that did the Oracle, like the Seasons, the Sabbath deck, Oracle deck, and all of those. So, yeah, I think so. Yes. This is new. She's new as of like last month. It's the one, the marketing, people, and I mean, Michelle, I'm assuming, yeah. There's kind of a turnover with them. So it's always nice when the new one she was going through the old one's emails and like picked up on it. So I was like, yay. So I always have to reach out to them every once in a while just to kind of make sure, because you just don't know. You don't know. So yeah. But let's see. I didn't even open it yet. So this one's kind of cool. I like it. I love the black and red. I'm so excited. Black and red. So they just announced too, the newest, you guys know I go all to the vampire events in Salem. They just announced the new one coming up in April. And each one kind of has a theme. So like last year, you had to wear black and white, or just white. And so this year is all red, which I'm so excited. So excited. Speaking of red, look how pretty. All right. Let's see what we got here. And look at actually, I want to show you this book. Look at that book. How pretty. Nice hardcover. There's a lot of info in here too. Anywho, let's get started, shall we? I had a lot of rambling to do. See, this is what happens when I'm not here for a week. There's so much. So much. Then we have MBOC coming up as well. Is anybody doing anything fun? I have to decide what I'm doing. Like I actually wrote it on my calendar. I feel like it kind of snuck up on me. But I'm not going to complain that it's like halfway through winter at all. Yeah, I know, right? I totally should. You're so right. Maybe that's why I like that deck so much. It's just something about the black and red. Something about it. All right, so let's start from the top. Aries. All right, Aries, we're starting with a jumper. So we have the King of Coins. The King of Coins for you, Aries. And this week, I think it's really important for you to make sure that your finances are in order, but because you know that there's something. I feel like there's something, Aries, that maybe you have been kind of ignoring in your monetary world, that it needs a little bit of attention. So it's almost like bringing that king in to give you that authority and that like no business, like no nonsense kind of thing going on. Like I feel like you need to be no nonsense about your finances and all of that coming up. So it's the end of the month. Maybe you want to just kind of look over everything to make sure that your next month is going well. Or if there's something you've been putting off, I really feel like that's what it is though, Aries. There's something monetary you've been putting off and you need to kind of get yourself back on track. That's what I'm getting for you. Well, let's see what the witches had to say about it. Give it a little shuffle. Ooh. Oh, this is interesting. So we have the Sabbats. So for me right away, it made me think, like I said, we have MBOC coming up, right? And it's all about things starting to awaken, planting your seeds of intention for the spring. So maybe that's what it has to do with. Maybe that's kind of like your goal is to get it done by the the middle of end of the week and set some new intentions. Maybe you need to start, kind of figuring out maybe like monetarily, is that a word, where you want to be. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it, Aries. I think it's worth it. Hello, Roger. So that brings us to Taurus. And if you want me to pull a card for you, go ahead and put it in the little question bubble so I don't lose it, because, I could do that. It might happen. So yeah, so Taurus, what do we have for you? Oh, let's see. So this looks like seven of Wands. So I keep getting a snow alert. Is it snowing or not? You know who was squawking at me this morning? Right over there outside my window was the woodpecker. Like, I don't know if I should be concerned. Is this like a, Alfred Hitchcock bird situation? Like, are they all going to start coming at me? Or I don't know. Every day squawking at me. So we have the Seven of Wands here for you, Taurus. So I feel like for you this week, you're going to just really feel like you have to defend yourself. That you're going to have to stand your ground, and maybe you're going to feel like people are coming at you and disagreeing with you. And I think it's really all about putting up boundaries, Taurus. I think that's what's important, is that you need to put up those boundaries and really let people know what's okay and what's not okay. So give it a go. Look at the back of these cards. It's very interesting, right? Very interesting. I'm trying to decide how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not going to lie. And, you know, I like creepy stuff, but I don't know. It's very something. It's something. All right. So we got our idea magic. I'm going to look this up though, because I want to see what it says. And they're numbered, which, you know, in an oracle card makes me so happy. It says the magic in your bones calls you to rise to the challenge. Don't hide your witchcraft. Ooh, I like it. So Taurus, I feel like, again, it's just owning your power. I think that's really what it comes down to. That's all I'm getting for you. You think there's no more than that. That is it. So, Gemini. I almost threw the whole stinking deck. All right, Gemini, what do we have for you? Gemini. Ooh, we have the Hangman. So, Gemini, what thoughts, what limiting beliefs are holding you in this space right now? And know that you can change your mind. You can change your mind anytime you want. You can reframe your thoughts anytime you want. Like, you have the power to do that. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a thought and a memory. It's just there, right? So make sure as you're going through this week not to get caught up in your head, not to get caught up in past thoughts, past things that maybe stupid crap people say to you. I think it's really time for you to start kind of clearing that out. And we are coming up to a full moon too, I believe, right? See, I have to flip my calendar for that. I believe like Saturday, let me look. I think Saturday is the new moon. Full moon. I'm pretty sure. So release. Yeah, I think that's real. I think it is very interesting. This deck, I don't know what it is. It is very interesting. Because it's like this person is so intertwined in this thinking. But something I noticed too, though, and I have the sparkles on here, the filter. There's white flowers all around here. There's white flowers. So to me, that kind of indicates there's hope, right? So even though, like, look how intertwined this person is in this. Like, you're deep within this. So Taurus is really deep. It's really deep into whatever this thinking is. But also remember, there is hope that you can make these choices and move on and not be stuck in them. You can get yourself out of this. So I think that's really interesting. And again, this deck, I love it. It's just the white on the flowers and that part of it too. I like that because it's again, like I said, I feel like that really symbolizes hope. Oh my gosh, I think she's out there. Look, she heard me. I wish I could show you guys. I know, be the tree. Yes. I'm looking out my window to see if I think I see her out there. All right, so moon magic. Love that. Love everything about moon magic. Kind of why I'm writing a book about it. That's it. So I like this too, is because, and I did mention that we have the full moon coming, right? And a releasing in that cycle. And if you work with the cycles and if you really start to pay attention to that, pay attention to your feelings, maybe you need to be paying attention to how you're feeling throughout the moon phases, Taurus, and see if there's certain phases that affect you differently, because most times there is. Most times. And it also depends when what phase you were born under. And if you want to find out what phase you were born under, you can just Google it, and there's plenty of things. But and I was born under a full moon. Is that not surprising? Just saying. I looked it up and I was like, oh, all right, yeah. So that brings us to our Cancers. Yes. Which is Another thing I'm hoping to do this week, or today. I really am. I'm like loading up all my projects for the day here. I'm like, you guys are watching it live. It's happening. All these things. I'm like, I gotta do this and I gotta do that. Yeah. All right. So, what is a Cancer? Yay. All right. So, to my Cancers, we have the Page of Swords. So, I think that's really interesting too. Excuse me. Oh, my throat. You know, like when your throat just gets really dry and it just won't stop? Like, that's what's happening now. Just saying. So, Page of Swords, Cancers. I think this is a really interesting one for you this week because, you know, swords are thoughts, actions, right? But I feel like this is more of kind of what you're saying. And I feel like that when you are approaching situations, people this week, to come at it kind of in a very, I want to say blunt way, but not like a mean way, but like blunt. Yeah. Yes, Callie. It is. It's telling you. It's like I'm all over the place. But I think with this page, because, you know, the page is kind of like the teenager, right? And they kind of come at things like, this is how it is. This is how I want, you know. And I really think that you need to kind of, you see he's kind of cleaning his sword. So it's almost like, I'm trying to think like the word. I'm trying to like form my thought. Like it's kind of like a couple things coming at me right now. And it's almost like you're just kind of like polishing what you say, but don't do it in a way that it's going to lose steam. So really making sure that you're using these words, like these power words, these dynamic words. That's what I want. All right. See, now it's all coming into place. You know, sometimes like you get a card and it's like different things all try to go in and you have to like mesh it all together. And I don't know where they're coming from, but it's like, oh, see, this is this and this is that. And it's like, yo, one person at a time, please. So yeah, I think that's really what it is for you, Cancers, is just really about using dynamic words this week. All of that for what, 3 words? It's just how it happens. All right, let's see. I just keep looking at this and I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know. Ooh, spell casting and manifestation. So I like that for you, Cancer, because again, using those dynamic words, because you are in a very big manifesting phase. So making sure you're using those words because whatever is coming out of your mouth is being manifested. So really pay attention to that. See, it all came together here in the end. And if you want me to pull a card for you, put it in the little question bubble. And let's move on to Leos. All right, Leos, what do we have? All right, Leos. Interesting. Ooh, I like his hair. 10 of Swords. So this is for you. Yes, Leo. Leo, I feel like for you, you know, Leos, they're very pragmatic, very big, but you're also very sensitive. And I feel like that you might really be feeling that sensitivity this week. And they get a card. This is true. And I feel that for you, though, I think it's just being really mindful of the sensitivity this week and not letting these things really get to you. And if somebody says something or something happens, try not to take it too personally. Like, try to make sure that you're really looking at it from a different perspective. And I think that's really what it comes down to, Leo, is perspective. Because a lot of times with this card, the person's laying on the ground, right? And No, this is the Fry Diavolo deck. No, it's the Frodor Pavlo Tarot. That's this one. And it's from US Games. So but I like about this too though is that he's not on the ground. A lot of times when you see this, they're like flat on the ground, right? So it's like, all right, you can come at me, but you can't take me down. So that's really kind of what I'm getting from this. Yeah, and Michelle, I'm going to do a full walkthrough on my Stardust channel a little bit later. I'll have it posted. So if you want to see what the rest of the cards look like. So let's see what we get with that. Because I think that's a really interesting card for you, Leo. Oh, interesting. So we got mother and fulfillment, right? So I like that too, is that nurturing aspect, right? We have mother, we have nurturing. So I think it's about nurturing yourself and really too, nurturing your inner child popped in my head. So I do feel like that because, you know, these sensitive things might be coming up that when you start feeling a certain way, make sure you're nurturing yourself and not, you know, instead of going down into the doom spiral, kind of switch it up and kind of take care of it in a more nurturing way. And not so much like, oh no, this one said this and this happened, and that's it. No. Remember, they can try, but they can't take you down, Leo. So then that brings us to our Virgos. Virgo. Let's see what we got. So for you, Virgo, so we have the Eight of Cups. I thought it was Eight of Cups, and then sometimes it like, I was missing a couple cups. I had to count them. I'm not going to lie. I had to count the cups to make sure. So Eight of Cups. So I feel that, I'm trying to look at this card a little bit. So it's really interesting because I feel like those cups are full, like because they're overflowing. You have the water flowing there. But for this though, notice that, hold on, I'm like throwing my cards. So notice that the person is walking away, but this is flowing down this way, right? So I do feel like that things are coming up from the past and Virgo, and I feel like that you have to just keep moving forward and know when your cup is full and not worry about also filling other people's cups because that is something that you do, Virgo. You want to make sure everybody's taken care of and you want to make sure everything's the way it's supposed to be, but that also empties your own cup. So I kind of feel like look in the past and see all those cups you've filled. Are those people or those situations, did they reciprocate? Did they fill your cup? Did they show gratitude? And if not, just keep moving, because sometimes when you go out of your way and you really give all of yourself to something or someone and they know this, then they keep kind of coming back for more and then you realize it. And it's really funny. I was talking to one of my sons and I said to him, when you know, and he's dealing with a situation, I said, when the situation comes up, you have to ask yourself, is this my problem? And I guarantee more than half the time, it's not. So I really think, Virgo, that's what it is for you, is asking, is this my problem? Let's see. Scorpio, but I have a question. Yes, I have 3 trips coming up. Can't do it all. Should I do 1, 2, or 3? Oh, okay. Let me pull this oracle card, and then we're going to pull it. Pull on that. Let's see. So, High Priestess and Conduit. So, I really think that's interesting too, Virgo, because like these flowers kind of looks like cups to me, right? And again, it's like here you are giving everything, but maybe not receiving back. So again, I feel like that's like a kind of a reminder card, like, hey, you need to kind of look at this and see what's going on here. That's interesting. All right, Roger. Can't do it all. Yeah. All right, let's see. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a card for 1, 2, and 3 and see what we get. I feel like that's what I want to do. So for trip 1, I'm going to say no. Trip 2. I say trip 2 can be, it's a possible one. We're working on it. Like it's in process. So I'm going to hold that one. Trip 3. And we got those cups. So I think trip 3 is basically, it's not going to be, it could be, this could be definitely be a yes. I think it's between 2 and 3, and I'm going to pull another card. So another card for 2 is the Hermit. So I would say that's a no. And then trip 3, I got the High Priestess. So I think trip 3 is the one that's looking the most successful. I think that's where it's at. So that's what I got. That one was fun. All right. Now we're on to our Libras. Libra. I don't know why I have to sing it. It just happens. You're very welcome. Man, we got all sorts of battles happening here. We got 10 of Wands going on here. We got some naked battling going on. Yes. I like that idea. Definitely. So, now, I mean, we can look at this in a couple different ways, Libra. They could just be like running around with their wands, kind of like having a powwow. Or it could just be kind of conflicting. Yay, thank you. So I think this is interesting because Libra, if you're seeing this, Libra, I feel like it's up to you to decide if a situation is going to be a conflict or it's going to be something that you're going to work together on. And I feel like it's really up to you to decide that. And again, I think it's all about what you want the end result to be and making sure that the actions align to that. And making sure, I think, everybody else's, actions align to that as well. So I think that it's kind of interesting. And, whether you want to be naked when you're figuring it out, hey, I don't judge anybody, whatever you want to do. But I do think that it's really, again, it's that perception. So I'm just looking at this. So it's kind of interesting to me too, which I want to point out in this card too. So we have this guy over here. He's kind of like, yeah, he's probably not so much involved. But we have these 4 kind of really involved. And they have like, there's 6 here. We got 6 coming here. So to me, it's almost like an X in a way. Like X marks the spot. Or there needs to be some sort of sequenced actions for this to work out. So, I do feel like there's got to be some sort of teamwork. I feel like that's more of what it is, but you need to decide, Libra. Really like set that intention to see how it's going to go. So, I don't even know. I feel like it's like one of those things, like I feel like I need like a brooch of this. That would be interesting. All right. Let's see what we got here. So we got Witches of the Craft Proficiency. So I like that. I like that. So again, when you're trying to decide how the situation's going to go with actions, if everybody's actions are aligned, you need to be proficient in it, right? You need to be on top of it. So I feel like that's just kind of like a reminder. Make sure you do that. So now we have Scorpio. All right, Scorpios. I'm just deciding, like, I'm sitting here shuffling, going off, and like, I'm like, I really like the feel of these cards. I have to see what they are. Look, I'm still in my trying to figure out what my card stock is stage. I wonder if those are. It's hard, I'm telling you. It's so hard. All right, so Scorpio, we have the Ace of Swords. So, you know, with our aces, we have possibility. So I feel that there is some new possibilities that are going to be coming to you. I feel that you have some ideas, and maybe there's some ideas, they are ideas that were kind of on the back burner and you weren't really considering them, but now they're starting to creep up again. And I do think you should give them attention, because even though, you know, this is generally always a good card, this is like, if you're going to have yes or no, this is a yes card, but you have to make sure that you take the action steps needed. You make a plan, because yeah, the possibility is there, but nothing's going to happen unless you do something, right? So, hey, Jamie, yeah, I'm not particularly a morning person myself, only when I have to be. So yeah, so I really think that that's really what it is, Scorpio. And I do think that it's time. Like, if you are waiting for your sign to start something, this is it. That is it. Just happened, Scorpio. All right. So, and then I got that Mother card again. So that nurturing. It's time to nurture your ideas. Some of these answers are just so simple, and then some of them are like, I'm getting like 6 different things at once. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. All right, so score, or no, we did score with Sagittarius. Here we go. Oh, now it's snowing. It's like snowing, like snow globe snow, like big fluffy flakes. All right, so we have here the 5, no, it's not 5, that's 6. 6 of Wands. Interesting. I like the detail. It's pretty. I like the detail. Like, it's kind of hard to see because I have the stupid filter on, but on their armor, it's kind of like a filigree, like heart almost. I like that. Very nice. So, yeah, Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, I think for you, it's all about celebrating yourself this week. You're pretty cool. You need to remind yourself of that. So I think giving yourself some credit, and also making sure that you know that you are worthy of good things, because that's a lot of things. A lot of times we don't feel like we're worthy of stuff. Like, good things happen and you're like, great, this good thing happened. Now you're waiting for the bad thing, right? So Sag, I think it's just harnessing that energy of like, you know what? I'm a pretty rad person and I deserve these good things that are happening to me, and I'm going to accept it. So I want you, Sagittarius, I'm challenging you to look at yourself in the mirror every day and tell yourself how badass you are. Challenging you. And if you want, you can tag me. You can post and tag me if you want, if you need to be held accountable. I'm just saying. So we have the Sabbath. We have celebration. So that's the word under here. It says, oh, I can't see it good. It says celebration. So I think it's all about celebrating yourself. Again, they're just playing nice. So Capricorn, our CEO of the zodiac. Let's see what we got. This is a very Capricorn card. This is the 3 of Pentacles. So I feel that, and you know, the first thing that popped in my head actually is kind of like, look at, like, when you look closer, it kind of looks like he's doing a side eye. And it's so hard to tell here, but he's kind of like going like this, like, dude, I got it. Like, so He's like, I know what I'm doing. I have this. I don't need your guidance. And so Capricorn, I feel like for you, don't be overbearing. If you given some direction and you giving, let people know this is how it needs to be done, work home, wherever it is, just back off, Capricorn. We'll be okay, I promise. And let them do their thing. Okay? Or else you're going to be getting the side eye from that person. And I feel like that'll just probably make you mad. I mean, if I get a side eye like that from my kids, it's just not good. No, I can get mad. Even though they're all like super taller than me, I can still give them the look and they run. See, this is what happens when you have a million kids. You have to get the look down. It's very important, especially when you're 4, 10 and a half. And yes, the half counts. All right, so spell casting and manifesting. And again, I think that it does have to do again with the manifesting and what you're putting out there. If Capricorn, if you're putting it out there that your team can't finish this project and they're going to screw it all up, guess what the universe is going to hear? Guess what the universe is going to give you? So I think just being really mindful of that is important. All right, move on to Aquarius. Anyone wants a card? We are nearing the end of the zodiac here, so put in the question bubble. I know, I'm telling you, need this deck. All right. And I just love this card. Hopefully IG doesn't like. So my deck, there is some nudity. There's nudity in this deck. So if you're sensitive to that, I mean, if you haven't noticed, but my deck has some nudity too. And it's really interesting to see how people react to that. Like their bodies. We all have one. I mean, unless you're up there, then you don't have one anymore. But it's just very interesting to see. And that is one thing, when my deck comes out, like I'm kind of like, all right, more naked people. It's going to be okay. We're all going to be okay. So my world card actually has boobies, and this one does too. And I love this card. And I love it. Look, she's got this like a harvesty, like, look at that. She's so sassy. Like, I'm here for it. So, this one is for Aquarius. So the Aquarius, it's kind of like the world is your oyster. You can decide what you want and how you want it. And know that what you put out comes back, right? And that it's really important for you to be putting out good things. And I feel like that's kind of the theme of a Bacchus vibe to that. Yeah, I guess you could see that. This is this card. I love it. It's cute. So I really think too, though, for you Aquarius, that it's all about just accepting things how they are. I really think that's important too. Like, put out what you want, do what you want to do. You have choices, and just accepting that, yeah, things are happening. Maybe things aren't always going to happen the way I want them to, but that's okay. So, I really think for you, it's just more of a very cerebral thing for you, Aquarius. And it's just in the, really deciding what you want. I feel like it's also like a decision. Like, you need to decide what you want. All right. So that brings us to Herb Garden. So I love that too, because like there were all of the plush things that are around this card, right? And then it brings you to the herbal garden. So what seeds are you planting? What seeds are you planting? And again, we're right near Mbach, and I think that's a great time to do that. So there was this one, actually just thought of it when I saw the herb garden. I had done this spell, which maybe I'll do a live on it too. It was actually creating an intention, like having a plant and actually putting your intention into the plant and energy into the plant, nurturing this plant as you're nurturing your intention. And I've done it a couple of times, and it's always been fun too, because following up with people to see where their plant is. And I like to do it in just like the small pots. And I think it's nice to kind of have that physical representation as well. And I always keep it on my desk. I always talk about, keeping it on your desk and nurturing it, because, not all of us are plant people, and sometimes we forget. And also, succulents are probably the best if you are not a plant person. So that, maybe I'll do that. I kind of feel like I'll do that. We'll see how it goes. Well, I think if, and honestly, what you could even do is get a fake one. If you're really that scared, you can do it with a fake one. Because again, it's all energy. Everything's energy, right? And maybe that's what you need to do. Or maybe you could even use, like, you ever see like the little stuffed animal plants, like the really cute ones? Yeah, they will. They probably will. But even like a fake one, or, even if you just have a pot of soil and you do that and you just plant the intention in there and then more, that's going to be more of like a visualization for you than actually the plant itself. So that is something you can do. And you can always put it in like a tin so that you can cover it, and then put it in a drawer, put it right on your desk covered even, or something like that. That's, and again, it all depends on your situation, but, oh no, but, there's always, that's a good thing about doing spells and doing all that stuff, is that you can make it your own, and you do what works for you. And again, it's all the intention. So whatever you want to represent that intention, that works too. I mean, I don't know. I could come up with a billion different things. You can even put it in a jar if you want. You can, oh my gosh, there's so many things that you can do. But again, it's just more of taking that act to focus your intention. So I think that is, really what's most important from it. I only have my dog Lola right now, who's 15 years old. And the poor thing has such bad dementia. And she doesn't even know what's going on. That's a whole nother story. So we're just trying to keep her happy, and I'm just feeding her snacks. That's all I do is feed her snacks. Because I don't know what else to do. And trying to just calm her at night, because she's doing like the barking all night long thing. That's fun. I think I was up like 4 times the other night. I was like, holy crap, it's like having a baby all over again. I gave her melatonin, it didn't work. Gave her CBD, it didn't work. Gave her Benadryl, not all at once, mind you. So we're moving on, see what's next. But she's just about 15. She'll be 15 in March. And yeah. We're kind of getting to the end of the line with her, so we're just trying to, spoil her and just make her comfortable and just kind of go along with it, right? Because that's all you can do. And 15 years for, it's a pretty long time. So it is just one of those things, unfortunately. The circle of life and all of that. All right, so now we're to Pisces. If you want a card, if you want me to pull a card for you, that now would be the time. So definitely put it in the question mark bubble, and I can do it after I'm done here with Pisces. All right, so here we have the 5 of Cups. So Pisces, what are you leaving behind? Some things may not have worked out for you. And, take the time to give it attention, feel the feels, but you need to let it go, because there are more opportunities. And sometimes, things don't work out because it's the catalyst for new things to start. Or if that didn't end, this couldn't start. So I think that really just focusing on that and not getting stuck in what didn't work out is really important for you, Pisces. And making sure that knowing sometimes when you are, especially when the situation with other people, that your feelings aren't always going to be validated. Just so you know. And that is such a big thing to come to terms with, because we want to be validated, that we're human. That's what, it just makes it easier for us to move on when someone's like, yes, oh, I screwed you over, or I lied to you, and I'm really sorry. Probably not going to get it. And just coming to terms with that, I think is really important. So Pisces, I do think that that's part of it for you. So you got this. You got this. Release, release, release on the full moon. All right, so witchy cards. Oh, interesting. So we got manifestation. So for me too, with that skull, it's that kind of that death, but more of the change. Something has to die for something to be reborn, right? So I do think it's just harnessing change. I think that's really what it is for you. Pisces, you got this. All right, so Saphira, how can I maximize my work this week? Let's see what we got. So I was looking at the, I'm looking at the gold edging. And the one edging I really like, it's gold, but it's holographic gold. I think I have to do it. I don't know. I don't think it'll show up. I don't have like enough cards for it to show up on my sample, but it's really pretty. All right. So, Saphira, we got the King of Wands. King of Action. I feel like for you, take a minute. Make your plan for this week. What are the most important things that need to get done? Be done, right? I feel like you need to write those things. And I feel like it's not more than 5 things. Like, I'm sure, if any of us sit down and make a to-do, it's never ending. But I feel like for some reason, number 5 is really popping up. And I feel like you need to focus on 5 things this week. So write them down. Post it somewhere so that when you start squirreling off into somewhere else, because I do the same thing, you can kind of rein it back in and be like, nope, these are the 5 things I'm getting done this week. Done. Done and done. There you go, Saphira. All right. So we just went through the whole zodiac. It happened. We did it. And if this is the last chance, if anyone wants a card, if not, I will see you next week. Same time, same place. And we will be in February. And yeah, here we are. There we go. And then, yeah, just make sure that you are paying attention to the post. Make sure you have your notifications on, all that stuff. And also, if you haven't got your winter issue yet, go check the website out. We have a few in there, and I believe we have a couple of, do we have some subscriptions left, Amber? So if you want to do that, I highly recommend. And then also too, if you ever considered advertising too, you can advertise with us. And that is also all in the link in our bio on here, and check it out. All right, folks, have a fantastic week ahead. Happy MBAC, happy full moon. We'll see you next week. Bye.